What if confidence isn't something you're lacking, but something that you are still developing? Today, we're unpacking why confidence looks different for women, especially in multicultural contexts, and how adult development explains that. If you've ever felt confident in one setting but not in another, questioned yourself despite being capable, or been told to just be more confident and felt frustrated, this episode will change how you see yourself. Welcome to Communication Skills for Working Women. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Rose May. Do you find yourself second guessing or avoiding conversations because you're worried about being misunderstood?
You're not alone. On this show, we're sharing tangible tools for assertiveness, emotional resilience, and real life communication wins and fails.
Let's sharpen our communication together. Confidence isn't about fixing yourself, it's about understanding your development. Please follow us on Facebook or share this with a colleague and leave a review because confidence isn't a personality trait, it's a process.
I once coached a woman, we will call her Anna, and she said, I'm confident until I walk into the meeting. And she described herself in her team meetings as being quiet. And then she would describe herself in one-on-one conversations and even like in our coaching sessions. She was super clear and insightful. And I would even have described her as like a very strong person. And so I got curious and was wondering, like, so what changed? And it really wasn't her ability. Like, when we were talking about it more, she's like, I feel very confident. Like, she is confident. And she was really describing the context, the social dynamics in the room. She was often the only woman. She was sometimes the only person of color in the room as well. And with those dynamics, her confidence just changed. I wouldn't say that it wasn't there. It was just very different. It became relational.
What adult development shows us is that confidence evolves as we move from a state of needing external validation to a state of internal authority. So let's just take a second to break that down and discuss what that looks like.
So we need to ask ourselves, where is my confidence coming from? So we would ask, do I feel confident when others validate me or when I trust myself? Many women are socialized to rely on feedback, which makes confidence unstable in biased environments.
Ugh, even the thought of that like makes me sick to my stomach.
Right? And I'm just thinking about this coaching client. I mean, that's completely where, like, all of a sudden, when it's in this meeting, it's not about just who she is anymore. It's
Mm-hmm.
about the feedback all the
Mm-hmm.
time. What
Yep.
system am I in? Where, like, there's just so many things that she was suddenly navigating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what environments impact your confidence is a really, really great question to use to just kind of be a little bit more self-aware and also just for like knowledge, like because confidence is really it's not always fixed. It can be very contextual. So asking yourself, where do I feel the most or the least confident? And sometimes this is influenced by the power dynamics in the situation, representation, cultural norms. It can even be influenced by the time of day, whether or not you got. I'm thinking about my schedule sometimes, and like there are some days when I work later than others. And so thinking about the next day, I'm tired. I didn't have time. I usually don't have time to like make a lunch, so then I have to buy lunch, which means that I have to use my lunchtime to go get some. So just like little things like that that contribute to the context can make the way that you're feeling internally fluctuate.
What messages have I internalized? That's another great question to ask yourself. So, here are some things that we may have internalized. Don't be too loud. Make sure you're agreeable. Don't challenge authority.
Ugh, that one makes me sick too. So many
And
things.
right, the thing that's so I don't know. It's just how often this shows up in coaching, in conversation, and just different
Mm-hmm.
times. It's just like this is something that as women we really experience
Mm-hmm.
across the board. So these messages really don't just disappear. They really shape how our confidence shows up. And it's really important for us to consider, get curious around them. What messages are we internalizing? Do they align with our values? What adjustments do we need to make?
Mm-hmm. So when we talk about internal authority, what would that look like? The shift that we're making is I trust my perspective, even if others don't validate it immediately. That's development. And yeah, it's great to be aware enough, self-aware enough to maybe get some feedback from people who you trust or from people who have your best interest at heart. It's also really, really important to trust yourself. Most of the time, we're making decisions based off of these kinds of decisions anyway, or walking into a room based off of our perspective that we probably can trust. So check it out with somebody. Make sure they got your best interest at heart, but also trust yourself.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, we have to live with ourselves. Other people come and go. And so
Hmm.
developing that self-trust is huge. It's
Yeah.
so important.
Yeah.
So, so important. So, you all know we're going to tell you to do some experimenting. Practice self-validation. So, in your next meeting, make sure you share one idea without over-explaining it. Just share the idea. Don't apologize about your idea or for speaking or for taking space or for being alive. And let your words stand. Then observe. Do not judge. Just do it.
And finally, assess the data. What did you learn? Most of the time, we notice that for the most part, nothing bad has happened. Also, that our voices have added value or meaning in some spaces, and that our confidence grew through action, not waiting around for something to happen.
That is the key. Confidence isn't something that you wait to feel. It takes
Hmm.
action. It's
Hmm.
something that you build through developing, through trying, failing, and adjusting. So we are so glad that you joined us today. If you found this helpful, share it with a friend, and remember to speak clearly and listen bravely.
When you feel confident in your communication, everything changes.
We'd love to hear your wins, failures, and insights on Instagram at Communication Skills for Women. Leave a review and connect with us.
Until next time, speak clearly and listen bravely.